So this is the first prompt. I love the way I was raised.
So I like the way I was raised because, you know, my mom was always there for me. So all the values I hold nowadays is thanks to my mom who like raised me. And I grew up here in Indonesia. So, you know, life was like, you know, quite simple, I guess. You know, very safe compared to my hometown. And, you know, my parents, you know, very supportive for what I wanted to do all the time.
Okay, I think I'm grateful with the way I'm raised because I've seen like a lot of bad people, like, so I'm not gonna say who. Yeah, but you know who I mean by bad people, right? Yeah, at least because I didn't end up like them. Okay, and I'm the way, like, I'm me.
Right now,
yeah.
Because of your parents.
Yeah,
same. You know, my parents. You know, you've met my mom. You know, my mom's like very caring, very kind, very respectful. Very respectful to, you know, like other people. Like every time you go to my house, we obviously have like extra shit for you, you know, like the blankets because you get allergies. So, you know, I learned to be like very caring, you know, from my mom.
Yeah, I agree. I think that our parents have always been very supportive of us with our choices and everything. They're always there for us, and I feel like, you know, we're friends because we're raised with good values and we had good parents to raise us.
And I'm enjoying the discussion. Okay. Can one of you guys share one of your stories, like why you guys doesn't really love how you guys were raised? Maybe we can start with Jacob.
Kayaknya kayak yang dibilang Carson, we are just ungrateful person.
Technically, I phrase it as ungrateful bastards, but yeah, that'll do. Why do you hate it? Why do you hate the way you're raised?
Actually, it's not like I hate, but I don't really have something good to say about how I was raised.
My God, how ungrateful! How about you, Wilson?
Well, actually, when I think about it, right, I don't think there's anything wrong with how my parents raised me. They were pretty lax with the rules and stuff. They left me to my own in my studies and everything. But I guess in some way, due to they being quite busy with their work and stuff, sometimes like I don't feel that close connection with my parents as maybe some of you guys might experience. Yeah, so like one of my biggest regret is actually like I never get to hug my mom. Yeah, so yeah, maybe because of that I don't have like really close relationship with my parents.
That's true. Maybe because we are like
ungrateful bastard.
we like communication with our parents.
I mean, I think it's like a kind of like an Asian thing, you know, like the love language stuff.
Yeah.
It's very not physical. I don't know about you guys, but for us, it's very not physical. I think like if you see on social media, there's a lot of jokes about it. How like people say, how Asians say "I love you" is like, here, have some food.
Come eat dinner.
Come eat dinner. Yeah.
But did you ever get hit by parents?
Younger, I was.
I think that's like
a universal experience. Yeah.
No, I didn't. Not really.
You're Asian, bro.
Not really. I'm an exception.
You never got hit?
Never.
I have, but like not that much.
But still, universal experience. Everyone gets hit in their childhood.
Yeah, everybody gets hit.
But as a form of discipline, I don't think it's child abuse.
Yeah,
Some people think it's child abuse, but yeah.
Do you guys feel like there's a big difference, like because like you guys are like millennials and you're like GenZ, so their parents are like more open-minded in a way that our parents are not that open-minded.
I guess so, because like my parents are quite old, right? My dad is turning 70 this year, so like he's quite old, and yeah, old people have their own way of thinking that is very different from us, right? And I guess you guys' parents is quite younger than my parent, right?
How old are your parents?
Like my mom, underclothes.
40 and 50.
40, 50.
Oh, okay.
Mine is 50.
Mine is 50. Mine is also 50.
So mine is the oldest. My dad is the oldest.
Wow,
yeah.
and you're so young.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
an accident.
Unintended. Okay, but let me say something. I also think that is true what he said just now, because for my parents, growing up, they were indeed more close-minded. It's more of the traditional Chinese way of thinking. But as we age, like as now that I'm already past 20s, my sisters also, my mother and father are more lenient and they're more open-minded right now. So I think it's a matter of like adapting to us, especially us, like as the younger generations. So I think that does play a role.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe that because our parents had to move here, right? They were forced to be open-minded and accept like the Asian culture.
Where are your parents from?
We're both
Colombian.
Colombian.
Oh, Colombian.
So we actually moved here when I was 6, and when she was 5. So we practically grew up here, you know.
Okay.
But I would say that Colombian culture is definitely more open-minded than Chinese or like Asian culture. They're more accepting to change, whereas here, you know, there are just like global issues sometimes that are not like accepted here. Comparison.
I see.
There was a time when I felt that my parents doesn't love me.
So obviously, when our parents will hit us, right?
Right. That is true.
Like raw emotions of like pure anger, right? And then you like have so much like regret afterwards, right? And then you feel like you know, if I didn't fuck up so much, like probably my parents would like still love me, you know.
I see.
But, right?
Yeah. What do you guys?
I think I usually feel this way sometimes, like maybe out of like, no, like just very like strong emotion lah. Like I don't really think they hate me. It's just like in the moment. It was just in the moment.
Oh, okay, alright.
I think maybe it's because I'm a middle child, so growing up, like more attention goes to the youngest child.
Actually, that is so true.
So oftentimes I feel like I was left out quite a lot, or that my parents just didn't really care about me when I was growing up. So like I had a lot of issues with friends, and when I compare my issues to something that maybe my younger sister is going through, I feel like my parents pay more attention to the issues that she was going through, even though they're like, I feel, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they're a lot minor compared to mine when I was her age.
I agree.
And I feel like they pay so much attention to those issues, whereas when I was going through them, like there was just no attention in it. Like my parents didn't even know about
It's
it.
like we were like the trials before like they perfected.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
So
True. I mean, people learn as they go, you know.
yeah, and obviously when they're angry, usually I do something bad for them to be angry. But yeah, when parents are angry, I definitely feel that they don't like me, or that I'm disappointing to them.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, that is kind of true, you know, because I'm also the youngest child.
Me too.
So I can somehow understand, because growing up, being a youngest child, and also the sole son of the family, I have 2 sisters, by the way. Most of the attention really indeed went to me. Yeah, most of the attention. So I was really spoiled rotten back when growing up. But then, as we age, it doesn't feel like I'm the last child anymore. So like, just to reaffirm with you, it doesn't feel like all the attention is going to me. As a matter of fact, more attention goes to my sisters now as I age. Yeah, and my sisters do feel the same way too. Like growing up, because I was the sole child, most of my parents' attention went to me and less to them. So yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, but I have to say, like from my part, why I sometimes feel like my parents hate me at some point is kind of like with what Wilson said just now, how there's a communication problem. Actually, when we grow up, our parents are not really used to like communicating their feelings out.
You're like afraid to like express yourself to your parents, right?
That is true, because they themselves have a hard time expressing themselves to us. So we also, since our parents are our role model, we learn from them, and like since they have a hard time, we also have a hard time. And now that's our challenge to learn how to express ourselves. And because of that, there are times when I feel like, do my parents actually love me? Because they don't really talk to me. There's like a barrier over there. But deep down, I still believe that they do still care about me.
Yeah, I think I can agree. Like deep down, I know my parents care about me. Even when they're angry, they love us.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
I guess they get angry because they care about us, you know?
Yeah,
That is true. That is
true.
true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah. They just want the best for us.
Yes, yes.
Sorry. Every day, kayak walau gue udah tidur nih di kamar, my mom will just knock on my door and tell me, "Hey, are you asleep already? Do you know I love you?" My mom is like, okay, lots of word of affirmation.
And you said there wasn't anything wrong with your parents.
I'm ungrateful bastard. Yeah, I'm ungrateful bastard.
I guess I have to, because even now, like for 18 years, every single night my dad goes and like tucks me in still, you know. And then he also wakes me up and there's coffee ready. Yeah. Until now, I don't go to sleep. My dad, you know, tucks me in, turns off the lights, says good night, I love you, and then that's it.
I never get it anymore.
That's very different because Asian dad don't do that kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think my dad loved me too because
I think.
You think or you think?
I know because. Wait, should I say this?
Yeah.
Like my mom told me my dad loves me more than my other siblings.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I know.
Oh.
Should we cut this?
I think it's okay. Your siblings need to know the truth.
Yeah.
Leave it in.
Your siblings are gonna hate you.
Yeah, they're gonna hate you forever now.
Please don't hate me.
How about you,
Alright, for me, I guess I sometimes feel the same way as the youngest child. That they are kind of harsh on me, which is kind of different. They were harsher for me because my age difference with my brothers are quite large. You know, like my big brother, my biggest brother, we are 4 siblings, all male. I'm the youngest, so like my oldest brother is like 11 years apart from me.
Okay.
And yeah, so I have a lot of growing up and catching up to do with my brothers. And I guess in the end, I feel love from them, but maybe not in a way that they express love for me, but in some way my mind just perceived that their attention and maybe some of their ranting to me, like my mom used to always speak out her mind, anything that troubles her to me. Yeah. So yeah, I guess in some way that is their way of expressing their love and concern towards me. Yeah.
It's easy for me to open up and talk about sensitive topics with my parents, such as my feelings, sexuality, mental health, etc.
Hell no. Oh, sorry.
Hell no.
Nobody disagree? Whoa, okay. When everybody comes in, like to the frame.
Hell no.
You can use the mic. Oh, thank
So we all disagree.
So everybody disagree.
Yeah.
They don't want to start first, like why, like it's impossible. Not impossible, like it's hard to talk to them. Maybe there's like trauma or like you guys don't feel safe around them. Want to start?
No, it's not like that we feel like unsafe. Like even with my friends, I don't really like expressing my feelings or like talk about them so much. So I just don't really like talk about it with my parents and just let them be. Right? I just like let myself be myself. So I just like, you know, whatever happens, happens, right? But I know I will have my parents' support just in case something happens. You know.
Yeah, I think also comes from my personality because I also don't like to open up a lot to people. I rarely, well, almost never like open up to people at all. So that includes with my parents too, because I like to keep things with myself and my feelings too.
I also agree with you guys. Like I'm very introverted, so I don't like expressing my feelings very much. Maybe, I find it hard to express my feelings. It's just because I feel it's a little bit awkward to talk about them. I don't like having to explain why I feel them also. It's just
Yeah.
quite difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask, do you guys like ever said I love you to your parents?
All the
Oh, yeah.
All the time, all the time.
Every day. Every day.
No.
No, also. Yeah, I
It's a
know.
Gen Z and millennial thing, man.
But she does.
Oh, but she does.
She does.
Like
It's more-
every time I see my mom, like I'll hug her, you know, and like, oh, hi mommy, I love you. Like she even goes like hugs my friends and stuff like that, you know.
Oh, wow.
It's more of like, I think it becomes more of like a routine to say it, because you end the phone call like, bye, I love you, as a routine. But times I say it when I mean I really love you, it's rather rare rather than a routine sort of thing.
So I guess
Kind
for
of
us, it's a
habit.
routine that we don't say it.
Maybe.
Wow, okay.
Mungkin gue pun lakuin itu karena itu rutin.
Yeah, right. You say every day is like second nature. You don't even think about it.
Yeah, you
My
don't.
routine is like, bye, I'm going out. Yeah, that's it. Bye, I love you. No, bye, I'm going out.
Is it an extra question to Wilson and Carlson? Do you think it's important for you guys to say I love you to your parents, or like it doesn't have to be I love you? You guys can express it in any way.
I think it's just that maybe we can express it in different ways. Because I don't know. Because I can also picture if I ever say I love you to my parents, they'll be like, "What? You have cancer or something? What's going on? What's going on? Are you sick?" Yeah, exactly. Like I cannot picture. I really cannot picture the thought of me saying I love you to my parents.
Did you lose my Tupperware again?
Like that.
But for me, I guess since I lost my mom, I kind of regret not saying those things to her. And yeah, because it's not a habit for me, right? Maybe right now I just express it in a different kind of way, like taking care of my dad, looking after him more, especially like right now he's not in his best condition. So yeah, just keeping track of him, just taking care of him. And yeah, I guess sometimes I do regret not saying those things.
I don't think my parents will understand what I'm going through. That's why I don't tell them anything about my mental state or something about that. And I think they have their own stress to deal with. That's why I don't want to add more.
I agree with you on that. I do feel like I just don't want to trouble them. I don't want to be a burden to somebody. So yeah, so I keep things to myself.
I think for us, like, it's back to that communication thing, right?
Yeah,
we don't share that kind of communication. Like outside, I'm quite an outspoken person. Like I'm quite extroverted with my friends. I like to have fun with them. But inside the house, I don't talk much. Inside my house, I don't talk much with my parents and anything. Like I just kind of become like the listener in the house. So like whenever my mom want to tell something, rant, get mad of my brother, he rants all to me. So I'm kind of the listener in the family.
Same, I'm kind of like that in my family.
Right. No, I have. Oh no, like I have to say, like only recently that I just started talking more to my dad, and that we did open up a little bit, and perhaps this may apply to all of us, is that maybe there's an underlying assumption in all of us that our parents, we believe that our parents are quite burdened with what they have at the moment, and they got their own things going on, when in fact, they may want to hear about our life. There may be the underlying assumption.
I mean, I guess like finding a hobby like both of you and your parents like to do. And like me and my dad, we both love to like play video games.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
So you know, I play a lot of video games thanks to my dad. You know, so sometimes we share that moment, and then like I guess creating the environment makes it easier to like talk.
Oh, okay.
And then either with my mom, like I'll help her cook, or then because I already graduated, so I just stay at home.
Okay.
So usually in the morning, like I'll play Nintendo Switch in her room, and then like sometimes I'll play and talk to her. So I guess also it's the environment you create, which makes it either easier or harder to open up to your parents.
That is very true.
Yeah, imagine my 70-year-old dad playing video games. Yeah, never gonna happen.
My dad, since like young now until 45, still playing.
Okay, that's actually very true. Like now that you think of it, like I see in the Western culture, it's like there's a lot of like dads and sons. They have similar hobbies. Like they portray sometimes in movies they portray as going fishing together, playing catch. Yeah, that actually is so true. Like you create the environment for you to communicate your feelings. Like it doesn't matter if you're not willing to open up at that moment in the start when you guys were just started with the activity. But as time goes on, it just gets yeah, it gets more comfortable
Yeah, it gets
to
easier.
speak up.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hear that, all Gen Zs?
Sure. If my father, he just get mad every time. Bahkan saat I do my hobby, like I love drawings, and then when I'm drawing, he like say, "Have you studied yet?
Oh yeah,
Drawing."
That's an
I
Asian
relate
thing.
too much. Yes.
For me, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Because during the exams, like, oh, you're still studying? Why don't you stop?
Yeah, no, my parents are also,
Because
yeah.
I like go home, right? So school from like 7 to 2, and then from like 2 to 5 tuition, and then I'll have to eat dinner, and then from 8 to 10 just work, and then I'll go to bed like at 10 o'clock, and then repeat.
Okay.
Yeah, also like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, my parents also insist that I stop studying. Unfortunately, it's not possible. Because
I
we have
guess they
so
also,
many
like,
work at the moment.
I guess they're afraid of like us feeling burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, sometimes like even if it's a 5 minute, you know, sometimes I'll go knock to my dad because he'll be working from home. It's like, oh, 5 minute break, and then we'll both go like eat chips or like drink coffee or whatever.
That's
Okay.
nice.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
So it's how's work? It's like stressful.
Yeah, all the Asians here doesn't relate. Yeah.
I think this is my opinion. It's like I think it's a matter of a culture and generation thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in a Chinese culture, it's believed that we need to work hard. Like we need to, especially for men, we need to be the man of the house.
Yeah.
Like you can't rest. You gotta keep working. Like they see you slacking, you're like, get your ass up. Come on, like you gotta stop working. Yeah, exactly. But maybe for you guys, I don't know if it's a culture or it's like the way your parents think. Like it's specific for your parents. But maybe it's the awareness of the possibility that a burnout can happen. Like
Yeah.
maybe for them, they do deal with burnouts, but they just can't afford to stop. Especially in the
Yeah.
generation.
Yes.
Could be.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more related to culture. Because I've seen like a lot of Western parents, because we go to an international school, so we're exposed to a lot of different cultures. And it's, yeah, usually the Western parents are like more chill with the schoolwork and not as strict as Asian
Our
parents.
parents are still very straight. You know, we get bad grades and then mouthfuls about whatever. You know, but just like don't burnt out. You know? Yeah.
It's okay if a child is only raised by the mother, while the father only supports the family financially.
Me?
That's okay.
I think it's fine because I think I grew up just fine without me talking a lot to my father. How about you?
Yeah, same. Like, I guess my dad is not the most outspoken person.
Mine
He
too.
rarely talks, right? And usually, when I was young, anytime that he speaks, it's only like, do your homework, stop slacking off. Yeah, it's only those kind of stuff.
Mine's the
right?
same.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I guess in some way, my mom plays a great part of me, but I'm grateful to have my dad, of course. Yeah, but I think growing up, my mom is like the one that taking care of me, everything that I need, she provides.
I agree with that.
If maybe the disagree can come forward. Share those
Thank you.
You want to start?
I think in my point of view, I think the father also needs to, because like I'm a son, I think the father also needs to teach like the son manners, how to be a gentleman, and yeah, because usually the father knows how to teach the son the best usually.
Well,
I mean, I guess, how I grew up, I always had both parents, so I'm very thankful, but I guess it's okay to a certain degree, right? Because I think having a parental figure, a father figure in either a daughter's or a son's life is very important, because not only does the father like teach you things your mom doesn't, but I guess he also supports you in ways your mom cannot. So regardless if it's working, I guess he should also teach you manners and how to do certain things. But I guess, like how my mom says, there's no like certain guidebook to parenting. So And like how I said, you know, growing up until now, my dad still, you know, tucks me to bed, says good night. So for me, as a, you know, personal experience, it's very important to have my father around, as well as my mom, you know.
I think that if you have both parents living in your same house, both parents should be taking a role in raising you. Because providing financial support doesn't mean you're providing emotional support for the child. Because sometimes, you know, you just need to talk to someone, and maybe what you want to say is not something you think maybe your mom would like to hear. Maybe it's something that your dad could listen to you and could help you with. Or just simply like, yeah, like I said, like my brother said, tucking you in bed is just showing you love, and it's part of, well, raising you. So I do think that if both parents are available, they should take a role in raising you.
Yeah. Well, my reason is that because I believe financial support is important, but it is just one of the aspects when raising a child. Emotional and mental support is also equally important. So a little bit background, growing up, the case of what Evan said just now was exactly like what I was experiencing. My dad was just a figure to provide financially back when I was growing up. So I used to live in Semarang at one point, and my father was just there to work and pretty much not really involved with our lives. He just provides us financially, and my mother is the one that's taking care of all of us. And in a way, it's also kind of pressuring for the mother too, for my mom, because like now all the decision making, how to raise the children, it all goes to my mom, and I can picture it. It is very burdening. It's very tough, and also I think it's a matter of perspective also, because mom can also provide you with good perspective, but your dad can also provide you with good perspective that perhaps your mom cannot see in the same way. Different angles, exactly. And especially in life experiences, mom and dad's life experiences are definitely different, and they can provide you with different teachings and knowledge about just life. That's what I think. So I believe that as a father, and one day if I do have a child, I want to be involved with my child, because like I believe that's important for their growth.
I think you can still successfully raise a child just like a single mother or a single father. But I think it's important, if those two people are present in your life, that they should take a role in raising you. Because, yeah, you need attention. As a child, you need attention, you need discipline, you need to be raised by both people. And like you said, helping out, it's, instead of putting all the role on the mother, which is like really, it's quite a lot, because mothers cook, they clean the house, they take care of the children, they take care of the shopping, and they do so much for us that financial support is not just for the child, just for the family, it's also for the mother, you know. And so just like emotional support is also for the mother, not only for the child.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Going against our parents' words means that we do not respect and love our parents, or in bahasa Indonesia, durhaka atau enggak tidak berbakti.
Ini konteksnya kita agree atau enggak kan?
Iya, yang agree maju.
Only me?
So
Okay.
the only one. Congratulations.
All right. A big pressure here. So I think growing up, my mother take me to what do you say, vihara, take me to vihara, which is where we pray. Temple, right? Temple. Every week, and I still continue going there now. Every week, and usually when we are there, we are taught like you shouldn't go against our parents. We must respect them and anything. And yeah, I usually because that prompt is something that I hold in myself as a value, and I definitely agree with that. Prompt, with that statement. Yeah, but sometimes I understand why you guys doesn't agree. It's because like sometimes our parents doesn't know the best for us, I think. Sometimes we may have disagreement on maybe a particular topic or anything, and I guess well, sometimes we must sin for our own good, I think. Yeah, sometimes we must sin for our own good, but I guess in general, when our parents give an advice, even if we don't agree with it, I usually will just like, oh yeah, okay, I listen to you, okay. I just say okay, and maybe in the end, when they don't see, I just do what I think is the best, the correct thing. So yeah, I think I agree with the statement in general, but I also understand why they don't disagree.
Right. Okay, let's welcome the disagree.
I guess I'll start with the disagree. I guess when we start as a young kid, I agree with the statement, we need to learn respect, not only to our elders, but to everyone. That's what my friends taught me. But growing up now, or maybe like during the pandemic, it was mostly when I started like defying my parents, but not in a negative way, right? My mom is always in the news, right? And she says all this like political, beliefs and whatever, right? And then I don't. So my points are like very different to her. And then Mom, I kind of disagree. And I'll tell her this, and this, and then she'll tell me, oh, okay, nice. And then she'll tell me her reason why she agrees on the certain whatever. So it's more like finding a different point of view to the same problem rather than only one way is correct. So it's like we're still like arriving to like a same conclusion, but our beliefs or whatever is different.
Can I just say I'm so jealous because that's such a healthy communication out there. Yeah.
But sometimes you also have to like play along. Sometimes you're always gonna lose. Sometimes.
Okay, I gotta agree.
Sometimes udah biarin. You have even though I don't agree, you're like, oh, Mom, I agree, gitu, right? And then, but yeah, I don't think like it's like either like sinning or like disrespectful. I think it's only disrespectful when you're still learning values, and because our parents have gone through what we've been. They've been kids, teenagers, pre-adults, whatever, right? So they know the same mistakes we're going to commit. Even though they always say to us, oh, I was a teenager before, gitu, right? And then they're always like right at the end, right? So they always know what's best for us because they have lived through the similar scenarios, right? So it's more like respecting their point of view. But if you don't agree on something, it's like you should like explain that to explain why you disagree. I mean that's just the case for like my mom or my dad.
Okay, interesting.
In my opinion, I disagree with this problem because, in my opinion, I think I know what's best for me, but sometimes, of course, I have to follow my parents' advice. But usually, if I don't, I just say, oh, okay, and just play along.
I also disagree with this prompt. A lot of it is the same reason as Ronaldo. I do think that sometimes our parents don't know what is exactly the best for us. They know what they think is the best for us, but in reality, we know it's probably not that. And I have a lot of respect for my parents. I think they raised me very well. Yeah, obviously they've made some mistakes, but I think overall, I'm a good child because of them. But I don't think defying what they say or what they recommend means that I'm disrespecting them. I feel that it's also a lot about your identity and figuring out who you are. So if you defy your parents, you're also trying to find better solutions for yourself and things that are better for you. They may turn out wrong, and it may turn out that your parents were right, but you could also potentially be finding something that you like or something that you think is the best for you. Like, for example, some parents don't allow kids to get tattoos, for example. Yeah. But the kids will still defy them. It's not because they disrespect them, it's because it's a part of their identity. They like expressing themselves through like art or something like that. This is just an example. I'm not saying I did that or anything. I haven't. No, I don't.
We're allowed to next year.
Our parents. Yeah.
Yeah. So me and my mom.
My parents are very open with that, and they agree. My dad has tattoos. Yeah. For example, like if my mom wouldn't have let me get piercings, I probably would have still done it. And I really like my piercings. So
they look good.
Thank you.
No. Aku tidak setuju karena I think kalau kita nggak dengerin kata-kata orang tua itu bukan karena kita durhaka ya. I think we are durhaka if we shout at them or we yell at them.
You can say your own point of view, but you have to be respectful.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, no, mom, I'm not gonna do it because you're wrong or whatever, right?
The reason why I disagree is that growing up, I used to feel so conflicted because like I don't know if it's just cultural differences, but we were raised to like listen to our parents or what our parents say are absolute. Like,
I think that's just like every child
thing.
But then obviously when you hit like puberty, you just like, I don't want to do this, I don't think my parents are right, you start like defying them.
You start like thinking for yourself.
Right?
Exactly, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like I feel so conflicted that we have to listen to them, but then like somehow deep down inside, you know that you have your own beliefs, and like now that I grow up, I'm grateful that I defied them, because for me that's an important indicator that you are building your own beliefs and principles, and that is important as when you start to build your identity, your character, especially when you're going on alone in the adulthood life.
I'm thankful and appreciative of what my parents have done to raise me.
We all agree.
Oh, thank you.
So obviously, you know, me having both parents, and I am the person I am today thanks to my parents, right? And you know, I have such like a wonderful life, I guess I think I have good beliefs and good like respect to my elders and also to younger people, and good self-respect also, and it's all thanks to my parents. And you know, I respect my parents, I love them so much. And even though like, you know, you get hit by the belt once in a while, maybe like 7 days a week or something like that, you know, thanks to them, you are the person you are today. And I guess they did their best, you know, for us to be this way, you know. And they've also like sacrificed so much, you know, because if they didn't have kids, or you know, they could have just like ditched us and then like live their own life, right? But they just like to stay for us and then like give up so much, or like almost like half their life, you know, just for us. So you have to also like, you know, be very thankful, even though like you get to like rocky start your childhood, you know. Yeah, you know, I respect my parents and I love them, and you know, I'm very thankful like, you know, how I was brought up, you know.
In my opinion, I'm very thankful because like although my parents have done like many mistakes. Just say.
Who are you to judge?
Are we talking about one mistake right now?
I think that I like the I like the way I am like right now, and I would like to consider myself like very lucky to be born like in this lifestyle too.
I disagree.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like you're pissed, you know. Are you done?
I'm not pissed. I just don't want to cut you off. I'm being respectful.
Okay, alright.
I'm also like, I am very thankful for the way I was raised. I'm very thankful for the opportunities I've gotten, the many places I have traveled because of my parents. I know my parents have sacrificed so much for us. And just, you know, I am very respectful towards people. I am very, I wouldn't say caring, but I wouldn't say I'm like rude to others because of the ways my parents brought me up. You know, I have so much respect for them because like just seeing how like my sister is, it's very hard raising a child. We have a big age gap with my sister, so
How much?
7 and 8 years. Not as big as, is it you or you? You, not as big as you. So we've had to take care of her, and we've gotten to realize how difficult it is. So yeah, huge respect for my parents. There's just so much to do. I'm very thankful for them.
Yeah, I guess everything right now is thanks to your parents.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm here in an international school because of them.
I agree with all of you because like this is the first time. Ini pertama kalinya mereka jadi parents, right?
Yeah.
They can they never experience that. Makanya pas tadi awal pertanyaan I said I don't really kayak puas dengan mereka punya parenting, but I know deep down they love me because they did so much for me, kan funding me or everything else. Whatever I want, they like, okay, I will buy it for you. But yeah, but mungkin
I'm grateful.
I'm grateful for all of that. But mungkin.
For the money or?
Oh,
Are we really gonna go there? Are we gonna go there?
Don't put words on my mouth. Okay.
As I would say that even though in the start of this conversation, I said that I'm not satisfied by the way my parents raised me, I still appreciate them in the end of the day because they did so much. And even if I could turn back time, I will not change how I was raised. Because who I am today is because of them. And if, for example, if I am not enough and I'm not satisfied with who I am, that is not on my parents, it is on me.
Yeah, I agree.
It's on me.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe the same with Carson, right? I think we both feel, or maybe us, we feel like you guys are very close to your parent, and we really want that for ourselves at some point. But in the end, like I'm really appreciative, especially like my mom. She started a business from zero to like raise us. Until now, like my dad helped her out, and although sometimes they may be absent in like my life, but my mom like take me to the temple, and my dad sometimes teach me how to play basketball. Those small interactions, those small moments, is something that I will appreciate every time. Especially now, like I started to live without my mom, and like. Those small things, like those that maybe you take for granted right now, like maybe your mom cooking for you, taking care of your bed and stuff. Like I started cooking for myself, and it's kind of a hassle, man.
Yeah,
it's really hard.
You realize how
Small
much like
actions or small words of affirmation. And I wake up, my dad wakes me up, and then the first thing I do is I go say good morning to my mom. Even though she just like half asleep and she'll like raise up an arm, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it's like the things we like put into our like daily habits that only we realize that we took for granted when they're gone, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and you know, every time you say, your mom says I love you, like I know, you could like, let me go play with my friends, right?
Yeah, so like those small things, like just thinking about what to cook for the day, that like that's a core in itself, like, and our parents do that every day for us. Yeah, so just those small appreciation, those small things that sometimes you took for granted. Now I realize that it's something that we must all appreciate about our parents, and how we must also act if we become a parent someday.
Thank you, mom and dad.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, mom and dad. I have a proposal, like, because considering the question, they're trying to end this video on a good note. How about we fuck it up and say one negative thing about our parents?
About our parents.
One negative thing.